Hello, today we are talking about different ways to say you're welcome. You're welcome's fine, however, it's good to have options. And I think that's a really important thing to understand. Sometimes language can get a bit boring. Like if you're using the same thing every time somebody says thank you, every time you just say you're welcome, it's going to get a bit boring for you, for other people. So it is useful to have other options. I was actually talking to a student on my course about this the other day. I think that most average everyday things that you say should have anywhere between 2 to 5 alternatives. So if you're a very high level of English, you might want to have like 3 to 5 backup other phrases that you can use instead of you're welcome. If you're a bit more of like an intermediate or lower intermediate, then you might want to just have 2 extra options instead of you're welcome. So the main thing is just make sure that you have options. And in fact, something that's even more important is intonation. Make sure that you're using friendly, emotional intonation when you say you're welcome. If someone says thank you and you just say you're welcome, it doesn't really sound very friendly. Or even worse, if you say you're welcome, that sounds like a question. You can never, ever, ever go wrong with using a rise-fall intonation on the main stressed word. You're welcome. Friendly, approachable, very nice tone to use in these situations. So grab a pen and paper if you like, if you need to take some notes, and hopefully we'll have some alternatives for you to use in the future. So we'll start with my favorite, and I'll give you a clue. It's associated a lot with Australia, although we use it a lot here in the UK. So if you know anything about Australia, you probably know that what I'm going to say is no worries. This is my favorite. I use this all the time. You can never go wrong with no worries. It's mostly used in casual and informal situations, but hey, I even use it in a formal situation. It's just very widely accepted and you can never go wrong. If you're going to add anything to your list today, add this one. Intonation is important, remember. Listen to me. No worries. No worries. No worries. Just another way of saying don't worry about it, showing that you were happy that you helped. Up next, that's all right, or that's okay. I hear this every day. In fact, I was talking to a builder at my house this morning who was helping us with something, and he literally said, oh, that's okay. It's just very casual, very easy to say, and it's just quite natural. Another one which you could use in formal and also informal situations is anytime. Intonation is a big one here again. Anytime. Or you could say anytime. Anytime. Make sure you're elongating the stressed any, making it sound like you really mean it. You really mean anytime, right? So listen to me. Anytime. Anytime. This is more a way of showing that you're happy to do it again. So if you've helped someone and they say thank you, and then you say, oh, anytime. So it's like combining your welcome with tell me if you need help again. A bit more formal now, we have no problem. I usually recommend adding an at all to this. So no problem at all. No problem at all. Now remember, if you play with intonation and stress, you can make it sound even more meaningful. So let's elongate no. No problem at all. No problem at all. Just gives it that extra bit of willingness and happiness to what you've said. No problem at all. It's almost reassuring. It's more polite. It's used a lot in maybe customer service. Maybe someone sold you a car and you say, thank you so much for all your help today. No problem at all. And then they go off and count all your money out the back. Everybody knows my pleasure. I mean, it's the same as you're welcome, really. Both equal to each other. They're both quite common. My pleasure, it goes a bit more into the formal side of things, but 100% you could use it in a casual situation as well. My pleasure. Oh, my pleasure. Then we have it was nothing. It was nothing. It's just a way of showing that person that there was no effort and there was no stress and there was no issue for you doing something for that person. Making them feel like what they asked you to do or what you did for them, it really didn't cause you any problems. So I think it's a really nice one to use. I sometimes pair this one with no worries. Oh, no worries, it was nothing, honestly. Adding that word honestly as well to make it sound even more like it was nothing, right? It's about adding things. The more stuff you add, unfortunately, the more natural and more native like you're going to sound. Now, you could just say it was nothing, but adding those extra bits just does make a bit more of an effect sometimes. And of course, we have glad I could help or happy to help. Exactly what it says. You're telling them that you were happy to do what you did for them. So remember what I said about adding bits. Adding extra bits to what you say when you say something like, you're welcome. For example, you help your friend, he says to you, oh, thanks for helping, mate. And you might say, no worries, mate, I'm glad I could help. Let me know if you need anything else. Okay, so I'm now expressing that I'm willing to help again in the future as well. A formal version of this might be, no problem at all. Feel free to give me a call if you need anything else. Or maybe an email, my absolute pleasure. Don't hesitate to contact me again if you need something else. Or if somebody asks you for some advice and you give them advice, maybe relationship advice or something, or they're about to propose to their future wife or husband, they might say, thank you so much for all of your advice. That's all right, mate. Hope it goes well. But we're adding on best wishes for the future as well. Hope it all goes well. So if there's anything important to remember from this is if you want that extra level to be added to your English, add bits. Add. It's about putting puzzle pieces all together and making it sound beautiful. Nothing wrong with just saying that's all right and nothing else, but just adding something extra on shows a bit more of your personality. It shows how genuine you are, and also that you're speaking from your heart rather than speaking like a robot. So nothing so pronunciation related today, but I do cover things like this in my course as well in the WhatsApp service. So if you do fancy working with me directly, you can join my course at etjenglish.com. It's a pronunciation course where you can learn to reduce your accent and sound, well, a bit more like me really, with a modern RP accent. But as well as that, I have that full-time WhatsApp support included for corrections and also help with your phrases, your expressions, your grammar, vocabulary. All you have to do is send me a message and ask. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys. Bye.